Yo, the Grizzlies. How are they doing? Let's talk about it. It's probably gonna be another short video. As you can see, same circumstances apply. We're at work, doing what you can. But the Grizzlies last year lost in 4 games to the Oklahoma City Thunder, the championship winners. And one of the best defensive teams we've ever seen. And the Grizzlies offense, well, Ja got injured. So what are you gonna do without Ja, right? But they lose in 4. They got swept. It's not very proud, not very happy about that kind of fashion to go out. But that's how it happened. And they made a couple moves this offseason. I don't know how good of moves they were. I don't know how good of their team, or I don't know how good their team is going to look next year. But let's get into it. So first things first, they traded Desmond Bane, right? They traded Desmond Bane to the Magic for Cole Anthony, KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and then 4 first-round picks and a pick swap. It sounds like a lot. The first-round picks were not very valuable. Although they got some good rookies out of them. I think they were for this year. Well, they got some good picks anyway. But yeah, it sounds like the Magic overpaid, but in reality, they really didn't, because the first-round picks were not very valuable. And Desmond Bane is a big piece to lose, right? He's your main three-point shooter. He is your main playmaker. He kind of runs the offense after, besides Ja, because obviously Ja and Jaren are going to be the main shot takers. And the main question that they have this coming season, in my opinion, is how are they going to score the ball, right? Because obviously you have Jaren, you have Ja. Beyond that, I mean, is the firepower really there, right? Do they have the tools, the pieces, the players, the talent to keep up with these other teams, especially in this loaded West? Another thing they did is they gave Jaren Jackson his supermax. Maybe not supermax, but his max extension. He got $240 million. I don't know, I forget how long the deal was. I'll say 3-4 years, maybe 5. But as soon as they did that, he got turf toe. So how convenient is that, right? You give this guy $240 million and he gets injured immediately. He had a surgery. It was all good. I don't know how long he's out for. I don't know if he got surgery actually, but he's injured. So hopefully he can come back before the season starts. But if not, you gotta just try to stay afloat. Another piece they added was Ty Jerome. And he played really well with the Cavs. Really got his value up. They gave him 3 years, $28 million. He was kind of one of those players. It's like, how much value does he have, and who's willing to sign him? The Grizzlies were, clearly. But yeah, I don't know if he starts. He maybe should over Cole Anthony, because they just got him back, but because he could play a point guard, and he's a good passer, good scorer. I just don't know how many shots he'll be able to put up on this team, especially with the main guys got to get their shots. But he looks like a third option, in my opinion, on this team. So it's a good pickup for sure to try to replace Desmond Bane. The 3-ball is less volume. I would assume less efficiency. So you kind of lose some shooting there still. You get KCP. Hopefully he can get his shot back, because last year was an awful year on the Magic. Cole Anthony can score the ball. He's a good scorer. But yeah, as of now, this team looks depleted for sure. They have a bunch of young guys is kind of their saving grace. Is what can they do with their young talent, right? How can they develop them? How can they put them into the roles? They got Jalen Wells, they got J.J. Jackson, they got obviously they got Cole Anthony. They have Ty Jerome is still pretty young. He's like 26 maybe, but Ja and Jaren are still young. This team is really young, but still developing. Not young as in like the Rockets young, because the Rockets are young, but their stars are their stars, right? Or like Kevin Durant, but and the Thunder are young, but their players have all developed mostly, right? Jalen can still develop. Shea can probably get better. Chet can still get better. So as long as the Grizzlies can develop these guys into good rotational NBA players, which Jalen Wells is already good. You saw the defensive side there before he get injured. J.J. Jackson, I think, is on his way up. So they have the pieces. It's just, can they develop them, right, into the pieces that they want? And if not, do you make a big move? And this is one of the teams that I would want to make a big move, because at some point, when do you say, we need to break this up, right? At what point do you say, Jaren and Ja aren't enough, Ja isn't enough, Jaren isn't enough, whatever? Because I don't think Ja is leading a team to the championship. I can't lie. I think he's a second option. I think the same about Jaren. I don't know if either of those guys are leading a team to a championship. Especially with a team with a roster like this where they don't have much help as of now. Obviously, the players can still get better. They still do have help. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this team is awful. This team is just horrible, whatever. But this team is still a good team. But do they have enough role player help to just have those two guys at the helm? I personally do not think so, unfortunately. I don't know what kind of move it is. I don't know what you go for. I don't know who you trade for. I don't know who's on the market. I don't know when you make that move. I think you see this next year because they got a new coach as well. Or maybe they didn't yet, but they fired their coach. So do you give this new coach a year with this team? Judge it on how he does. Maybe keep them around, and just see what they can do next year. I don't really know what kind of year it is for the Grizzlies because I don't see this team making a playoff run at all. Barely making the playoffs. So what do you do with this year, right? That's kind of what they got to figure out. Do you use it to develop these young pieces? Do you use it to see what you have and actually have in Ja and Jaren, what you have in Ty Jerome, what you have in your rookies? I mean, it's kind of a gap year. A lot of teams are taking a gap year this year, which I think, at some point you just have to do because, I mean, you want to keep your championship or just be mediocre the rest of your life? Now, talking about their draft, the Grizzlies had 3 picks this year. They took Javon Small, I think was the second pick. They took Jemai Mashek and Cedric Coward. Cedric Coward's comparison is Jarvis Walker. His strengths are his physical tools, his scoring versatility, and his passing. His weaknesses are his athleticism, his sample size, and his defense. So he's a great scorer on the offensive side. He's a great playmaker. He has good size. He has a long wingspan, but he lacks defensive abilities, and the sample size of him playing good has not been very wide, very long, like a lot of sample size, right? So he looks good, but how good does he actually look? Because if he's playing longer, will it keep it up? Will he drop off immediately? How does that work? Javon Small's comparison is Cole Anthony, and his strengths are his shot making, his playmaking, and his defensive playmaking. His weaknesses are his size, athleticism, and his finishing. So he can score the ball, he can get a shot, he can play make, but he can't finish around the rim very well, which I actually didn't look what position he was. So hopefully he's not a taller player, a bigger player who plays with the big guys. If he's a guard, actually, what am I talking about? Any position that's going to be a crucial thing you need to get better at, but that's also something you could teach. So another playmaker on the floor they can get. What's in need playmaking now without Desmond Bane. So this is all good so far. Other third guy, Jemai Mashek, I couldn't find a comparison for him, but his strengths are that he has signs of efficient scoring and he's defensive minded. His weaknesses are that he lacks scoring consistency and he lacks a handle on the ball. So he can't really put the ball on the floor. He can't score the same every game, really. He has hot streaks. And like I was saying, they still have all these young guys, including their rookies. So as long as they can develop those guys into real NBA players, this team doesn't look too bad. Because it looks like it's evolving into a defensive-minded team, depending on what coach they get. They could also already have a coach. I don't know. But yeah, I think it is going to be a down year. I don't know if they make the playoffs at all. If they do, it's 8 seed or below, unfortunately. Because Ja's kind of been inconsistent health-wise. Jaren is now not maybe going to start the season. So I don't know where this team lands exactly, but I doubt they go to the playoffs. I doubt they make a playoff run at all. If they do make the playoffs, they're getting swept. Because this West is just loaded. So just take a year off, maybe 2. You might have to take 2, depending on what you do with next offseason, this season, the trade deadline. But a lot of things to look at with this team. It's still a good, fun team. Just going to take a second to get back to where you were. But that's about it for the Memphis Grizzlies. Another short video. Soon enough, I'll get back to the longer ones. Hopefully sooner than later. I'd rather not do this at work. But hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. You learned a little bit something. Comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.